Ælfgifu fizzles and disappears again.
You can't win.
Wow, she's really channeling her inner Jilliana today.
She tilts her head back for a moment and then she goes, okay, we'll deal with this. Right, Vel?
Yeah.
She then looks around. How many people are presently in the club at what I assume is like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday?
Not a whole lot. You look around and the interior is like, it's low light. The whole thing is decorated in like black and red velvet. It very much looks like, you know, the inside of like a 40s nightclub.
Yeah.
The main occupants appear to be a rather tall, human-ish looking woman behind the bar, and playing the piano is a fairly androgynous looking, probably dude, dressed also in red velvet. And he's got his back to the door and mostly ignoring you guys.
That's it. Red Velvet honestly sounds like someone who'd own a bar in these parts, but I'm going to go to the bartender because bartenders know these things. So Wynn turns and heads over that way. Okay,
this woman has very, very, very pale skin, like basically bone white skin, and her eyes are sort of a glassy blue, and she does appear to be blind.
Well, I walk up and put my hand down on the counter, and I say, hello there. Hello there.
She kind of just turns towards you.
2 things. 1, do you happen to just do rum shots? Because I am desperately in need right now.
She reaches behind the bar, pulls down a bottle of rum, pours you a shot, and slides it over.
Thank you. And I pull out one of my... silver seems right for a shot. I don't know.
Oh, not here it's not.
Okay, not here it's not.
That's a 1 gold shot, is what that is.
That's a 1 gold shot. It's got it. I give her a gold and 5 silver as a tip. And then
50%.
Yeah, 50%. I tip well, especially for babes. I lift up my shot, I down it, put it back down, and I go, who's the owner?
She points at the guy at the piano, and you realize
I was
that
so right.
She has probably worked here a very long time. She can just point at the piano with pinpoint accuracy.
Probably. Thank you, I say to her then, and I go to make my way over to the piano, where I sit and where I stand to the side and wait, because far be it from me to interrupt another musician.
He wraps up his performance with a little flourish and then unerringly turns towards you and goes, well, what can I do for you?
I'm afraid I'm here for some business. I have heard through the grapevine that you are knowledgeable in the way of curses.
Maybe a little bit.
Would you be able to help, or would you want us to do something before you tell us about curses?
I've got time.
All right, I will just get to describing then. We have a friend. We actually entered the establishment with her, and she's currently got a new ring that just blips her to another reality where she can't remember anything for a while. Pretty regularly at this point. It didn't happen the first couple of weeks she was wearing it, and then yesterday she started, well, actually it was 2 days ago she started blipping, and it's kind of hard to tell when she'll blip in and blip out again.
Well, that is interesting.
She does occasionally come back wearing odd things.
That is very interesting. No other clues as to where she's going?
She doesn't really remember, and she's kind of addled, so no, not really.
Well, it does sound, the memory loss and the changes and the possible changes in time, if I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, seems like it might indicate she's going somewhere like the Feywild. Time and memory work strangely there, but I don't need to tell you that.
Nope, says the elf. Huh. And that honestly does sound vaguely like a Fey-like curse at that, now that you've brought it up.
Where did you get this ring?
From an evil undead necromancer.
And you just put it on?
She did, not I.
Okay. Well, what world do you think you got it from?
What was the name of the world?
Kryn.
Oh. Well, magic from that realm can behave capriciously in other spheres. Their gods are notoriously jealous about that kind of thing.
That would make sense. We've heard quite a bit about their gods while we were there.
Yeah.
So it might be an issue of just what sphere we're in?
Yes, it might. The thing is that that's less an issue of what sphere you're in and more an issue of are you in Kryn or are you somewhere else?
Got it. So it's not likely something that we can necessarily easily cure. This is basically what I'm getting at.
Yes, it's not a classic curse, not the kind of thing that your average 2-bit acolyte in an alleyway would be able to fix.
Wow. Wow.
Wynn keeps her protectiveness over Juliana here down. Alright. Well, I will in fact let our acolyte know this.
Wow. Somewhere Juliana just feels vaguely insulted and she doesn't know why.
Well, in that case, I thank you. And I will pass this on to everybody on my ship.
Yes, what ship is that, by the way?
We're new to port. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
No, please, do tell me.
The Kestrel.
Kestrel. Well, next time you call in, I may have some fun for you.
Absolutely, of course.
Run along, then.
Yeah, and with that, Wynn does do a half-hearted bow, much less elaborately than Cacophony would ever do, and then glances to Veli, and leaves.
Yeah, Veli, by the way, throughout that entire conversation, has just been kind of like looking around at the velvet and all that, and not paying attention to the conversation at all.
That's fine.
I'm surprised they haven't just been doing rum shots.
They might die.
And I in that case, Wynn goes Veli, and then turns and moves for the door.
Yeah, Veli willingly gets dragged along, but is still looking around the nightclub with a great deal of fascination.
And we head back to the ship, because I don't want to get more in debt.
All right, so, Jill, Wynn returns to the ship with Veli, but without Ælfgifu.
Did she...
Blipped again.
Goddess, I hope she comes back, like, here.
That'd be nice. So the owner of the nightclub says it's probably not a curse that you can actually cure, inasmuch as we got it from Kryn, and the gods there are jealous, so magic items from Kryn work oddly in all other spheres.
Ugh, that sounds about right.
Also, odds are she's going to the Feywild, and,
Is that... You know way more about that than I do, is that...
It's full of fairies, basically.
So is she in danger? Is what I'm asking here, because I'm still real worried about that black eye.
She might be in danger if she makes any odd sort of deals with people who are dancing around her or who want her to dance, but Ælfgifu is not the type who will willingly get into a circle and start dancing.
That's true.
So I think we're probably okay. However, he also insisted on knowing the ship name, and he says he's going to probably have something for us when we get back. Meaning, of course, since he gave us information, we're going to have to do a thing for him.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yep.
You should probably let the captain know that we've indebted ourselves to somebody dangerous.
Yep, I'm going to go let her.
Okay.
And she's off to find Captain Pontar.
Yeah, Juliana, from above decks, you hear Wynn go down into the captain's cabin, and then you just hear the captain's voice at top volume being like, "You did what?"
Oh, good, that wasn't me this time. I get to disavow all responsibility for that. Good for me.
We got information about Ælfgifu's condition, but in exchange, it sounds like me and mostly me, but probably the ship too, are mildly in debt to the owner of this club.
She just goes into a full double facepalm. Okay, this is fine. Everything's fine. This is fine.
Wynn just kind of stands there staring at the captain. Not animated at all.
All right. As soon as we get that hull fitted, we're leaving.
All right. And then she turns and leaves.
All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to take care of before we fast forward to departure?
Yeah, I mean, Juliana's gonna, go try to negotiate this shit with the notes.
Cool. So you find Max, who has set up a hammock in the cargo bay.
Getting comfortable?
Yeah, fairly so. I've slept in worse conditions.
Hmm.
You look constipated?
Thanks. Okay. Look, how are you at... Do you have any experience with code breaking?
Some, yeah. I mean, most ciphers are at least slightly based on thieves' cant, so...
Okay. While you're here, can you take a look at something?
I suppose?
Look, we've got some notes that are probably about some incredibly evil cult that we're tracking.
Okay. And he looks a little concerned at this.
Yeah, it's a thing. And none of us can do anything with them. It would be nice if we had at least some idea of what some of these notes said. It might give us a lead or at least some information on what we're up against.
All right. I think I can take a look at that, see what I can do.
Okay.
Are you willing to just leave those with me, or am I supposed to be doing this under supervision?
Well, I have no guarantee you're just going to turn around and tell them to your BFF Ridian, so yeah, I guess you should probably be under surveillance.
BFF? He looks vaguely insulted by that.
I don't know, you tell me, you're apparently chummy.
Listen, Ridian is useful to me for now. I don't particularly like him. He's a hard man to like.
Yeah, I picked up on that part.
Yeah. All right, show me to my workspace, I guess. And he makes a theatrical flourish with his hand.
I didn't think that far ahead. Wardroom, I guess.
Okay.
There's a limited amount of space on this ship.
Yes, there is. All right, so you lead Max to the wardroom, passing by the captain's quarters, so she kind of picks up on the fact that that's where you guys are going to be headed. She brings the notes in that appear to have been sorted mostly into the stuff that features that World Eater rune that you guys have seen before. And yeah, Max kind of just hunches over it and starts reading through, and he has some scratch paper and he starts making notes on the scratch paper, and he's probably going to be at this a while.
Well, I guess Jill doesn't have anything better to do, and she's pretty pissed.
The captain kind of looks at you and goes, "So are you gonna supervise?"
I may as well.
All right. She goes back to her cabin.
So yeah, Jill's just gonna plant herself in one of the chairs, cross her arms, and just kind of glower.
Okay. While they're working on that, is there anything Arturos is up to?
And so you just stack them up?
Talking to Mr. Hurst.
Yeah, no, I'm just fascinated by House of Cards.
Yeah, since the wardroom is occupied, Mr. Hurst is currently working on a House of Cards in his quarters, which he started to think the wardroom is cursed, I think, with regards to it. He's just like, yeah, and you gotta be real delicate with her or else the whole thing is gonna fall over.
It's amazing you can do such a thing with such big hands.
Well, I try to be gentle. You know, I'm surrounded by small people all the time, and it's not nice to hurt them.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Kind of looks like he's about to say something, and then the part of his brain that's like, no, you gotta be nice to people, shuts that off. And just goes back to stacking the cards.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
All right. Wynn, is there anything you're up to?
Wynn seems to be in a glum mood, so she mostly just finds locations and drapes nearby and reads.
Okay, do at some point you make your way to the wardroom?
Yeah, she probably doesn't care about being in the wardroom while they're doing stuff, so she goes in there and drapes and pulls out one of the romance books and is reading it.
Okay. Actually, double checking the map. I don't think there's actually many things that you can drape yourself on, so you're probably just in that stuffed armchair.
That's fine. I'm draping there.
Okay, but like Jill is probably sitting there. So do you just like shove her out?
Yes.
Awesome.
So now you're sitting at the table with Max.
She walks in, she picks up a book, she moves, she stares at the table, stares at Max, stares at Jill, and then makes a gesture like, get to the table.
Excuse me?
I'm reading.
Okay, good for you.
I'm not reading at the table.
Reading you. Fine.
And then she goes and she drapes on the chair.
Are you okay?
What? I'm reading.
She kind of holds up her hands. Okay. Well, how's that coming along? She says to Max.
This is slightly terrifying.
So you're understanding it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, slightly terrifying sounds about right.
Yeah. It's not. Ugh. So far, it looks like your old captain was very invested in the activities of this cult you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe looking into them on behalf of naval intelligence, although it's kind of unclear. He mentions naval intelligence, but he also appears to have been doing things that they didn't know about and trying to hide things from them.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's like he didn't trust them.
Huh. That's not what I expected.
Anyway, I'll keep working on it.
Sure.
So he keeps at that for a couple of more hours. At one point, though, he kind of sits up and starts rolling his neck, and he's like, all right, am I allowed to take breaks while I do this?
Sure.
Thanks. Then he heads off to the galley.
Should I?
Wynn kind of slowly looks up from her book and over to Dill and raises an eyebrow.
Should somebody keep an eye on him, like, while he's eating, or
I doubt it, she says.
Okay. Ugh.
I mean, if he sneaks off to tell the Captain Ridian about anything at this point, who cares? Are we in space yet? She asks. No, we're not yet.
God, who cares?
No, we haven't. I feel like you would have noticed if we had taken off.
Probably. And then she goes back to her book.
Juliana just kind of fidgets with her hands, then looks over at the shelf, grabs some random ass book, and just sort of opens it herself. Hey, what's next, book club?
Next book club should be 2 days. She waggles her hand after we hit takeoff.
No, I mean, what's the next book? I don't remember.
Oh, the next book is titled Best Man. It's about like a tinkerer who makes like a metal man and gives him all the personality traits she enjoys, so that way she can disguise him as a real person and take him to see her family, who are very insistent that she be married. And she's going to talk about how they're engaged.
Oh,
and, yeah,
fake marriage, and then
but with like a fake robot man. And then she finds out that she is falling in love with him, so she has to get a soul. So then it becomes this whole thing.
Wait! Don't tell me!
You got it.
Okay.
Is there a list?
She's gonna get that book. Just gonna skim through it. Oh, it's anatomically correct.
Yes. There's probably not like a very dramatically done list, but after a moment, Wynn goes, I should actually write out all the books for book club, shouldn't I, at some point? I'll hang them up somewhere.
I mean, we're gonna read duplicates at some point.
Yeah. But at that point, we can hopefully we'll have forgotten the earlier ones.
Fair.
I guess I should ask Arturos and Max if they want to join.
At this point, Max comes back in with a coffee and a sandwich.
Okay. Max, says Wynn from over her book.
Yes?
Do you want to join our book club while you're on board?
Is that a euphemism?
God.
Vaguely, she says.
Juliana puts her head in her hand.
They're all romance novels, and they're all filled with tawdry sex scenes.
Oh, it sounds exactly like the kind of thing I'd enjoy.
Sweet. And then she looks back to her book.
He leans over to check what book Juliana's reading, kind of goes, and then goes back to the table with his notes.
What did that mean? What did that mean? What did that mean?
He was checking to see if you were reading anything about werewolves, I think. Says when she then flattens the book again to her chest and leans and calls down the hallway while still in her plush chair. She's not getting up from this thing. She knows how thieving works. Arturos, are you somewhere nearby?
Would he be able to hear her from the thing?
I think you'd be able to hear yelling and your name, but that's about it.
He heard his name, so he's gonna go up. Hello?
Arturos down here.
He walks to the wardrobe. You called?
Hello. She looks at the book. We read a bunch of sexy books filled with tawdry sex scenes regularly on this. We have a book club. Would you like to join while you're on board?
I don't personally read, but if you would like to read to me, I would definitely join.
She pauses a long moment and then goes, normally I would say yes, but today is not the day.
Oh, c'est la vie.
But when I'm in the mood, I'll find you.
Always find me when you're in the mood.
Juliana's mouth is hanging open. That was overt!
You caught that one.
What?
I'm proud of you, Jill.
I'm not... She's like glaring at Wynn and keeps like glancing back at Max like,
Without looking up from his notes, Max is just like, I'm not sure he can read.
Oh, so Wynn.
Artie's gone by this point. He's not here for this.
I've
That's
never
fair.
seen him do it.
Some people can't.
Okay, so Max is going to be at this for a couple of more hours. As it's starting to get dark, though, he kind of like sits up and rolls his neck again and goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this all in one day.
Okay, then I guess hand me what you've got and I'll give it to the captain and we'll see about this later.
All right. And he kind of gathers up his notes and hands them to you. And a couple of things you notice. One, his handwriting is really, really nice. Like, stupidly nice. Like, nice in the way that nobody's handwriting is nice.
She's gonna, like, glance down through the papers, then notice this handwriting, look at it a little more closely, and, like, look up at him like, eh?
He just kind of looks at you and shrugs. 2, he's managed to get about halfway through the papers, and most of what you're reading lines up with what he told you. This is mostly notes keeping track of cult activity, including a couple of possible hotspots you might want to check back on later. Quest hook.
Wynn, long before this point, had drifted off, saying, I guess I gotta go practice, and had manifested somewhere vaguely in the cargo bay with her harmonica, where she's presently sitting on top of one of the boxes playing House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, God.
This is really thorough.
Yeah, I try to do my work well.
Also, your handwriting's really good. What is this?
Practiced. That he heads towards the cargo bay, where he quickly realizes he's going to have to put up with House of the Rising Sun for at least a couple of hours.
Well, she'll switch other songs, but she's practicing that right now, apparently.
Okay. Oh God, I can only imagine what House of the Rising Sun sounds like on a harmonica, played by someone who doesn't quite yet know how to play House of the Rising Sun. There's a lot of stops and starts, probably.
Nope.
Run out of breath a lot. Like the intake and the outtake sounds are all bad.
I want you to know she is proficient in harmonica.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is that one of her instruments?
Her 3 instruments are viol, bagpipes, and harmonica.
Oh shit.
Bagpipes, guys. This will be very handy when you go to Highlander Planet.
Great.
I need you to know that Highlander Planet is not based on actual Highlanders, but it's instead based off of Highlander romance novels.
Sweet! I'm in.
Yeah, okay.
Say no more.
There's a lot of young lords who must marry to maintain control of their estate.
Oh my god.
At least one of whom is a werewolf as well.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and one who, like, all the other kingdoms think he's a tyrant, but in reality he's just, like, you know, really, really nice to his people and very aggressive towards others.
Great. So is there gonna be just a planet that's just full of Darcys or what?
I can arrange it.
Yes. Also, every single man on Highlander planet is known as like a layabout who goes around fucking everything, but really he doesn't.
So anyway, we're gonna time skip to after the new hull is finished.
That was my performance. Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Holy shit.
So yeah, the new hull has been fitted. The ship is ready to depart. If anyone needs to do any errands before they leave, now is the time.
I am not stepping foot on this planet again if I can help it.
Good call.
Jill probably is going to go out at some point to pick up some various and sundry items, among which, like, she still needs to get some armor repair tools.
Right, let me just look up what those cost. You're gonna see what you're doing, Eddie? You're making me get the book!
Wow, I'm sorry! I thought I wanted to live in a fully immersive world!
Jesus Christ, I can't believe you're making me do this.
We can do it later, you can just tell me later and we can subtract it.
Nope, gotta do it now.
Oh my god, we can hand wave this.
Smith's tools are 20 gold.
Sure. Done. I don't need a full set. Is that going to reduce the price at all?
Sure, knock 10 gold off that.
Great, glad we did this. It's a deal.
Look at it this way, I'm not torturing you with hot boys.
Well, you aren't. Check your DMs.
What is this direct message? Yeah, that'll do. Sure. Sure, that'll do.
Do the rest of us get to share?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
All right.
Arturos doesn't know what he would need. He lives his life by the cuff, so...
Does he even have a cuff?
Shit, why do you have to make me think about clothes? Possibly. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he can have like a metal cuff bracelet.
There we go.
It's festooned in gold.
He has bangles.
So many.
Wynn has moved on to he ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Now, are you doing this while Max is trying to sleep, or do you lay off?
I will lay off while Max is trying to sleep in there. Or I'll at least move up to, like, the armory or something.
All right, cool. Arturos, you hear the faint strains of he ain't heavy, he's my brother every once in a while through the wall. All right, so you guys, once you have the new hull fitted,
what are you
is there
doing,
a cat?
Toolbox? Yes, hey, Toolbox.
Oh, right. There's a cat on board.
There is a cat on board.
No, I mean, have Max and Arturos seen the cat yet?
I think at one point, you see, during the whole notes decoding process, the cat comes over and just kind of sits on some of the papers, and Max just kind of mindlessly reaches over and scritches it behind the ears.
Of course.
And Arturos, it's up to you how you react to the cat.
He stares at it in the eyes. They have a stare off. I'm pretty sure the cat wins.
The cat does win.
All right.
Unless do you have like a nictating membrane that you can use that's not technically blinking?
You know what? He probably does.
But does he remember to use it?
No. Not above water.
All right, so the new hull is fitted. It appears to just be a reinforcement over the existing hull. And with that, the Kestrel takes off and leaves Providence Bay, and shortly after that, the planet that you're on. Max quickly briefs the captain within earshot of you guys that it is, hang on, let me double check the notes that I have. Yeah, it will take 8 days via the phlogiston to get to the sphere, Kofu space, and then another 5 days to get to the, he says bubble? He doesn't say planet, he says bubble, which strikes you guys as a bit odd. So you guys have got you guys get to the phlogiston quite quickly. Exit out into the Rainbow Connection. Arturos, you've probably seen the phlogiston before, right? This is nothing new to you.
I've been on several ships, yes.
Okay, yeah. Anything non-flammable you guys want to do for the next 8 days or so?
Hold on,
Flammable, I'm not going to tell you how to play this game.
It's a game of choices. Alviva did blip back at some point before we left, right?
Yeah, she's popped in and out a couple of times, never for particularly long.
But, like, has she popped out since we've been moving? Because Juliana's been worried about that one.
Yeah, she appears to be tethered to your guys' location.
Okay, even outside the sphere, okay.
Yes.
So at some point, Wynn probably does have to take her turn up on the chair. So at that point, she goes, ugh, and steps into her room, and then comes out as a goth cacophony.
Cagophony.
Gothony.
Gagothony.
And she just heads straight upstairs and gets to it, and then as soon as she's done, she comes downstairs and goes right back to being Wynn.
Oh, wow, we don't even get an outfit description. That's how much she hates this. She's in a mood.
Why do you keep rolling twos?
I don't know. Blame the dice roller. Think like Gothic Lolita Russian for the costume, though.
No, I gotcha.
That's what she's got going on.
Oh my god, was that a repeat outfit?
It was a repeat outfit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What's wrong with her?
So during this time, two things with regards to Max. One of them is that he continues to decode the notes while Juliana supervises, and he's getting pretty far through them. The selection that you guys have allowed him access to. And the other thing is that he seems to have made friends with pretty much everyone on the crew. Like, Kara likes him, Lachlan likes him, Veli likes him, the captain tolerates him, which is pretty impressive. Mr. Hurst really likes him. You even come into the galley one time and see Finn teaching Max some sign language as he and Max go back and forth on, like, the slate.
It's disgusting.
So, the notes continue along the same vein. I'll write something up for you later, but the basic summary of it is that Captain Navarro's main mission for the last couple of years has been investigating, the cult of the World Eater, in various locations. The notes get more and more concerned as time goes on as to the widespread activities of the cult. And yeah, last in this mission log is that he was on his way to your guys' planet to pick up something that he'd left there some time ago for the purposes of something called the Star Wardens, something for the purpose of getting them on side.
Huh. And does the Star Wardens sound familiar to, like, literally anybody?
You can ask around.
Yeah. I mean, she'll probably, like, IMAX first, like, Star Wardens. Is that a thing?
I don't know. It sounds kind of... I don't know. There's, like, some old, like, fairy tale type stuff, but nothing really... Nobody's really seen any in a really long time.
Fairy tale?
Yeah. Like, ooh, once upon a time, the Star Wardens would come and get you if you were naughty in space.
What, like boogeymen?
Nah, more like, I don't know. Cops doesn't feel like the right word. Park rangers. If you litter in space, they'll come get you.
Evil park rangers.
Well, not maybe evil. Well, depending on where you're standing, I guess.
If they steal children, that feels like that's a little evil.
When did I say they steal children?
If you're not good, they'll come and get you? That sounds like
talking about pirates, not children.
Oh, right. No, of course. Pirates believe fairy tales, then.
Oh, God, yeah. There's never been a more superstitious group in all of wild space than pirates.
What? Seriously?
Do you know how many times I've managed to get money out of someone by claiming they're haunted?
Arturo's being one of them.
I mean, do you have to go into more detail than that, or is it just you're haunted?
Depends on the intelligence level. I managed to get a decent amount of money out of Arturos by just making some banging noises on the wall next to his bedroom once.
That tracks.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
But I do have, like, a fake medium that I can pay to, like, you know, convince someone that they're haunted sometimes, if I really want to.
And how often exactly do you grift?
Every time I'm out of money, really.
Hmm.
Been there, says Gwen from the corner.
And people trust you.
Oh, I'm very trustworthy.
Hmm.
Cons are very trustworthy, says Gwen from the corner.
Yeah, he gives you a grin. There's a little too much teeth in it.
Fangies?
Fangies.
Ugh. Jill kind of, like, looks a little too long and then just kind of busies herself.
Anyway, and he hands over this big stack of notes. He's like, I'm done with these.
That actually didn't take as long as I thought it would.
Well, you're about halfway through the 8 days at this point.
Yeah, I know. Well, thanks. I guess I'll see if she has anything else she wants you to look at, but otherwise, she kind of, like, holds out her hands. You're free, I guess.
Thank you. Happy to help.
Sure.
And with that, he heads back to the cargo bay.
Yeah, she'll hand those over to Captain Bondar.
Yeah, she starts rifling through them immediately and looking more and more concerned as she keeps rifling through them.
You know,
I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. Hey, you know, that actually reminds me. Did you delegate to me just so you wouldn't have to tell Hurst that the captain had a secret from him?
You know, the thing about Mr. Hurst is that he's not trying to guilt you, but he's just so damn good at it.
I mean, he's kind of good. You could have just stopped to say he's just so damn good.
He is, but he's also very good at guilting people. Like, astonishingly good.
Yeah, no, I got some of that. Except it wasn't even directed at me.
If we ever need to interrogate somebody, we should just have Mr. Hurst be disappointed at them.
Oh, goddess, that'd be perfect, actually. You can't disappoint that face. You just can't. Anyway, do you want him to take a look at more of that stuff? I don't know. I
don't know. What do you think? Can we trust him with it?
I really have no idea.
Well, look at it this way. We could just kill him after he's done.
What?
I'm kidding.
Are you?
Yes. And with that, she goes back to rifling through the notes.
I don't know. Everybody seems pretty sold on the guy, but I don't know.
Don't you have, like, spells and stuff for that, though?
Yeah, I do. I've just never really had to...
Okay, so worst case scenario, we tie him to a chair, you do your voodoo on him, and then we...
Voodoo?
I don't know what clerics do.
Voodoo? Voodoo. Really? Really?
Or, don't you have a thing to talk to dead people? Navarro's had a thing to talk to dead people. Worst comes to worst, someone would just die in combat, and then we'd just take their skull and talk to them later.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure, that's not exactly the kind of thing that I was trained to do, but yeah, I guess I'm technically capable of it. Hate that idea, though.
Oh, well, okay. Well, if he does die during the heist, bring his skull back so we can question him.
I'd rather not.
Well, what are you gonna do? Leave it there?
What? No, I'd rather not people die in general.
I'm not saying he's gonna die, I'm just saying he might.
I'm not counting on that. Look, just do what you want. I've been cooped up for like 4 days in the wardroom. I need to do something. I need to do like literally anything else.
Okay, good call.
Gonna chores or something. Goddess.
Okay, so you're off to spin the chore wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. This one lands on laundry.
Of course it does. Of course it does. There's that raccoon face stain.
Yeah. You get the pillowcases and you're like, oh, I remember this.
Ah, what a wonderful present from past Juliana to future Juliana. All right, well, she's gonna at least, like, wash this shit up on the top deck and swear at the clothing and the fabric and everything as much as she possibly can. And I guess probably string a clothesline somewhere up on the top deck. There's not really a mast, so...
There isn't, but, like, you can string a line sort of between the fore and rear decks so that it's not very high off the ground, but it is there.
Yeah, she'll probably, like, struggle with that.
At this point, Lachlan comes out to help you with it because he sees you struggling and he feels bad.
Artie wanders in. You're doing a great job. No, more to the left. To the left. My left. What do you think left is?
Do you want to help or what?
I am helping.
Are you? Thanks, I'm not quite tall enough to reach up there.
No problem. And then he kind of looks around, and then he looks down at the raccoon face pillowcase, and he's like, I don't actually know how to get that out of linen.
Oh no, I don't either.
Does Cacophony know?
I mean, she's got to, right? I mean, she's always got she just kind of makes vague gestures at her face.
Yeah, but, like, I've done laundry, and her laundry specifically before, and, like...
She doesn't let people touch her laundry.
I don't see that on her pillowcases.
Weirdly, anytime her laundry shows up in the other laundry, which is rare, it's immaculately clean, and everybody probably wonders why it's there.
Yeah, well, some of us aren't good at that stuff.
Anyway, good luck, I guess.
Thanks. Would you mind giving me a hand later with, like, actually hanging this stuff up once I've washed it?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
And he heads back below decks. So, you get to scrubbing, I guess.
Yeah, probably. It probably takes a while, and...
Wynn wanders in at some point.
Hey!
Have you seen my petticoat?
Oh, yeah, no.
It's not a long one, it's really short.
Really short? Like how short? Like, where on the thigh are we talking?
Above the thigh.
Why do you even need a...
It makes everything poofy. That's what matters.
You know, sure, yeah, no. I saw some in the, I think it's, honestly, I wasn't even sure I needed to wash it, so it's just kind of in the maybe pile over there.
All right, thank you. She heads that direction to start rooting around.
Hey.
Yeah?
And she has, like, crumpled the raccoon face pillowcase next to her and just kind of, like, what do I do with this?
She eyes it for a long blank moment. Eyes Juliana's face for another long blank moment.
Juliana has the common decency to look down in a way.
No, she says, no, chin up. And she squints forward, and she's looking over, looking Jill's face all over for breakouts.
What?
I'm just making sure, because it looks like you didn't remove your makeup before this point. And that can be bad for your skin.
Yeah.
And then Wynn, for some reason, says, it's not worth getting dressed. And then she wags her hand for a moment, doing kind of an arcane gesture, and goes, get clean, damn it. And prestidigitation, you can clean a 1 cubic foot of something.
Juliana has seen her do this before, but she is still startled. I should have asked you to do that way earlier, shouldn't I?
I mean, normally I do it as cacophony, so shrug. Also, I'm more flashy about it then. I wouldn't want to interrupt. I wouldn't want to ask Cacophony to do that either.
Thanks. The party was fun. I was super out of my element.
Valid.
Like the whole time out of my element.
Valid. I wouldn't take you to a nightclub in the middle of the night either.
Oh God, no. That sounds, yeah, no, I'm getting anxious just thinking about that one.
Mm-hmm.
No, thanks.
She goes back to the maybe pile, pulls out this petticoat, and then she goes, when did I put these in here? And then pulls out some fishnet stockings. I haven't even worn these in a month.
JEMJAMMER is performed by Annie Creighton, Kit Walker, Mackenzie Weaver, and Vicky Sharon, and it is edited by Jake Mason. Our character designs were concepted by Rio, who you can find at vriosart on Twitter, and our cover art was illustrated by Canary Witch, who you can find at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music is by Reckoning Storm Audio Works. You can find more episodes of this show, as well as our other shows and news at our website, crookedrussiancam.horse. You can find us on Twitter at CRC Podcasts and on Tumblr at crookedrussiancam.tumblr.com. If you want to support us, a like, rating, review, subscribe wherever you find our podcast is super helpful and helps us get discovered. And if you want to give us some money, you can do that at patreon.com/thejemjam or ko-fi.com/crookedrussiancam.